Hello, everybody. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Well, that's right. We have more flakes, more cold, and more snow in your forecast as we go through the next couple of days as our first blast of Arctic air settles in. Your forecast details are coming up right now. Say, my friends at Robert Gibbons Sons want you to know about ductless mini split systems. They're like heat pumps, and they can really help areas of your home that you have a more difficult time regulating temperature in. You can receive up to $2,000 in a tax rebate if you have a Bryant system installed by Robert Gibbons Sons. Give them a call today and let them know Hutch sent you. All right, let's take a look at our forecast as we go through. We're going to start right away with a look at what we have going on temperature-wise across the area. It's cold out there, and I hope you're enjoying some football today, and I hope you're staying warm. Here is a look at what we have going on the latest temperatures across the area. And what you're going to notice, the real cold air up here in the oil patch. It's 4 below out there near the Williston area. So as we take a look a little bit closer, we'll go ahead and zoom into that Williston oil patch region. We can see Plentywood, Montana, 4 below zero. It's 0 in Tioga, 2 below in Stanley with 5 in Minot. Beulah right now, it's 10 degrees. How about Harvey at 7? And as we look off in the Red River Valley, holding on tight to 10 degrees. It's gonna be a cold night out there, folks. We're gonna have some temperatures that will slide away as we go through the overnight hours. It's cold. Now, look at what's going on up near Regina and north of there. Saskatoon, 11 below zero as we get up into parts of central Saskatchewan. So there's some mighty cold and Arctic air on the forefront for us. Now, by the way, this is a look at what's going on temperature-wise. Let's see what those wind chills indicate. We don't have a lot of wind, but what wind there is making it less than balmy. 2 below in Fargo's what it feels like on exposed skin, and I can tell you it's cold out there. 11 below in the Devil's Lake area for a current wind chill at this hour. 12 below Minot, Williston. How about you? Let's zoom in, Williston. You must have that thermometer that says nope, and not even going to give you a reading right now. Stanley, 12 below. 12 below up at the Minot Air Base, and right now in Plentywood, Montana. You're going to be wanting to burn some wood because it's 18 below zero for that wind chill factor out there. So it is cold out there. Here's an update for you. Thanks so much, Kathy, for joining. Thank you indeed for joining as well. Simon, Marie, thank you for joining from Thompson. I got to tell you, it's cold out there, Nathan. I hope you have your ear covered and your hat covered up because it's really cold out there. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast, and we're going to take a look at a couple of different models, but we'll start with this one here in our neck of the woods. Now, what we're going to look at with regards to this model is a look at the hour-by-hour forecast first, then we'll take a look at some snowfall potential with it. Here we go. Now, this model, let's go out to this one here. There's a couple different models. We'll look at a couple just to compare. Here is a North American model as we set this into motion. Look what happens out in the west as we go through the day. The timestamp on this is right in the evening hours. So evening drive time snow in the oil patch. We're quiet here for the majority of the daylight hours. Very cold, high pressure though, and it's going to be just a miserably cold kind of day. As we go through our Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, notice the system bringing snow to the Devil's Lake Basin, to the James and Cheyenne River valleys first. The timestamp on this is the overnight hours at about midnight. It arrives right here in southeast North Dakota and the valley, according to this model, as we go towards 6 a.m. You're looking at 6 a.m. on here at this particular timestamp, and continues its trek out into Minnesota before falling apart. It's followed out by some cold air flurries. With this kind of cold air, the air this cold cannot hold much moisture, so any kind of moisture in the air oftentimes precipitates out pretty quickly. So that's one model showing us the route of the system from basically the Williston area right into Fargo and Hankinson as we go through. Now let's take a look at one other model, and I'll give you my 2 cents on which one I think might be out to lunch and what's looking good. Now, when you look at this one, similar timing, but it looks like, oops, this one is still thinking. Here, let's get to this one. Okay, so this one has similar timing as we take a look, but look at it's a little farther north with the onset of the snow showers. Timing is still the same. Dinner time tomorrow evening at about that 7 o'clock time frame. Then as we head into the overnight hours, it starts sliding more southward into southeast North Dakota. What we want to do in a situation like this is know where the cold air is set up and where that boundary is, because this little weather-making system is going to hook right along that boundary. And that is where we're going to have the best chance at seeing some snow. Here's a look regardless at the potential for snowfall with this particular system. Now, if you happen to be a Hutch's Weather fan and you've gone to hutchesweather.com, you can check this out on the website. Now, on the website, up at the top of the page, I've got details on this snow shot with more information up here for you on that. However, know before you go, remember, tomorrow, quiet in Fargo, not so much out west. As we go into Wednesday morning, you'll want to stay up to date with the latest. You can use the interactive radar, but up here at the top line, that's where you're going to find measurements of snow that are compiled by the National Weather Service Forecast Office and road conditions. And if we do click on that there road condition sign, what you're going to notice with regards to those road conditions is that we have some beautiful opportunity to take a look at, well, all kinds of great details, and not just North Dakota roads. Let me show you. See if I can get this to work over here. Hutch's Weather, we'll go ahead and click on those road conditions. And what you're going to see here is that there's North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and if you're traveling regionally, Iowa, Colorado, Montana, Manitoba, Nebraska, you name it, we have road condition reports for you right here where you can go to the map and take a look at the very latest road conditions, which now are pretty good in North Dakota. The yellow means icy, so there are some areas of icy roads out there right now. You can get this information on hutchesweather.com anytime, anywhere. So thanks for taking a look at that. Now let's take a look at the snowfall forecast real quick as we're in that halftime time frame of the football game. Figured this is a good time to give you an update. Do you agree? Let me know if you'd rather see it at a different time. Clarine, thanks for watching. Janet, I hope you're doing real well. Janet, thank you for saying hi from New York Mills. Leora joining from St. Hilaire. Jim joining. Where are you joining from, Jim? Good to see you on board. Cheryl from Park Rapids, beautiful Park Rapids, Minnesota. All right, let's take a look at what we have going on with this snowfall forecast, shall we? Here we go. All right. This really shows the potential because this system doesn't start for 24 hours yet and into the 36. This is the first stab at the track on it. It could shift by 50 miles easy, okay? I do think this is going to be a little bit better track on the storm system based on where the high pressure system is and low, and it's going to be on that boundary between the system as it rides that cold air ridge on the side there. So what we're going to see is a chance for many areas to get a trace of snow in this area to maybe a half of an inch. But in the narrow band that sets up, wherever it sets up, that moderate band of snow, we're going to see some spots that get 2 inches, maybe a little bit more. In fact, this model says, look out, Sheridan and Wells County, we could see 3 inches of snow in your area. Here's what Hutch knows. When you're looking at forecast models like this, we're not going to refine this and make it much of more of a forecast until we get a little bit closer, because this could go a little bit farther down to the south based on those couple of models that I was showing you. Hey, Phyllis from Frazee, it's great to have you on board. Again, if you have any questions. Kai joining from Fergus Falls. Corey says, agree. Thank you very much, Corey. I hope that you are enjoying your time. Let's see. I'm trying to see what you're agreeing with here. Simon says, looks like a January temperature map. Yes, indeedly doodly. And it looks like it stays cold. Okay. For regional travelers, we're going to take a sneak peek on this update for you now as we head to bed at what you can expect for the regional forecast. 2 models yesterday came more into agreement on a storm system on Wednesday moving out of the Colorado Rockies, where the elevated terrain of Colorado gets slammed with snow. That includes parts of Utah near Salt Lake City as well. And that system races across the Central Plains and heads right to the East Coast. So travelers through the East Coast could see some significant weather. Let's go to the latest look at the European model real quick, and then we'll compare with the other model. You'll have more weather information before, so you don't have to stay up late after the game to get your weather, right? Thank you for watching Hutch's Weather. Sorry about my clock feature up here on my page. I'm not sure why the clock feature is all messed up. I'll fix that later, but I'll read the times off to you, so you can count on me to do that. I'm sorry, I must have messed something up on that. My apologies to you. Let's take a look at this European model forecast. This is model guidance. It's not a forecast, but it really is the output of the computer model, the European model. Tonight, snow showers will move through the New England states. We're talking about places like Vermont into Maine with rain on the East Coast. Here is a look at that system that was the big storm off the Pacific coast making its way into the Rockies. And your timestamp on this is Tuesday night. So the western Rockies of Colorado, we're talking Grand Junction down to Durango and into Salt Lake City, central Provo, Utah, those areas will have a chance at seeing some accumulated snow, as will the western mountains of Wyoming. Now, this European model has the low pressure center, and this is important, down in southern Colorado, which means upslope snow could form in the high plains somewhere between, say, Colorado Springs and Denver, Colorado. So this could be a mountain snowmaker, if even briefly, as it works its way out and into the plains. Look at the track now. It's going a little farther to the south, meaning Pueblo, Colorado Springs, a better chance at seeing that upslope snow. But nonetheless, the timestamp on this is Wednesday morning. Could impact some travelers through that Denver hub, airport-wise. We'll keep you posted. Now, as you take a look, watch the system race across the plains. This European model is showing a heck of a storm. This is Thanksgiving morning. This is like 10 o'clock in the morning, and it is rocking through upstate parts of New York. New York City looks like it's on the rainy side of this system, with a chance for mixed precipitation, heavy snow in PA, and also the mountains of West Virginia and Virginia seeing a chance for some of this to work its way through. I'm going to rock this back and forth, and you'll see some states impacted by this wet and white weather. Ohio River Valley from Cleveland and Cincinnati right up into Indianapolis and on into the New England states. And look at this thing really intensify as it hits that warm Gulf Stream water here. So if you're in Boston, and if you're in Concord, and if you're in other places here just inland, not far from New York City, once that wind becomes north, we could see a slap of snow. We're still looking at the evening of Thanksgiving. So Hutch thinks there's a reasonable chance at seeing some significant snow and wind from this system on Thanksgiving Day. Could impact some parades out there on the East Coast. Now, does the American model concur? Here's that storm system in the Rockies, snowing for days there, and then it races across the Central Plains. And yes, both models are showing a time frame of Thursday morning, Thanksgiving morning, rain changing to a mixing to snow heavy at times out on the East Coast. Now, the snowfall potential is really early to make a call on that, but we can get some guidance on just how much might be possible in a couple of these areas. We're going to look really closely at Colorado, then New York, and then we'll get you back to your football game and life. If you have a question, just drop that puppy on for me and let me know what it is. Let's look at the Colorado Rockies snow, and let's take a look. You know what? I'm going to go and look a little bit farther to the west and see, because most of the snow will be in the western part of Colorado. So here you can see western Colorado, and here's Utah, and here is the parts of California as that system makes its way across. So the early part of the forecast period here in the next 24 to 48 hours will bring the snow to the Sierra Nevada in California. Then it works its way right into parts of Utah, central Utah here, picking up, well, the model says the potential is for over a foot of snow for some as we go into Wednesday. Western parts of Colorado picking up heavy snow as we go into Wednesday as well. Then that system exits and we're done. Now we're going to look into the Central Plains states and look at the eastern plains of Colorado. Does Oklahoma get snow from this system? Look at that. There'll be a shot for some snow in Kansas as well as through parts of Nebraska. But as far as the Denver area on this one goes, there could be 6 to 8 inches of snow as we go up towards places in the western foothills of the Denver metro area, which could impact some traffic as far as that goes. Now let's look at the East Coast snow. Again, that's snow in Colorado mainly on Wednesday, so through Wednesday. And it will snow as we go into Wednesday as well. It's just getting started now. Let's go out to the East Coast. Here's an East Coast snapshot of snowfall potential. This is Thanksgiving Day and on into, let's go beyond Thanksgiving Day. Here it is, the weekend after. So notice that we have enhanced snowfall in the areas downwind from the Great Lakes. So as we get downwind of Erie, downwind of Ontario, we're seeing those heavy snow bands. You're talking Syracuse and Buffalo and typical areas out here near Erie, PA, seeing some very heavy banding of snow and a healthy amount of snow for the western reaches of Massachusetts on up into Maine as we go through. So those areas could impact national travel. Definitely the case for us. We're on just the tooth chip and cold side of this particular system. I think the time you've been doing are working great, Allison. Thank you for your feedback. Hi, Kara from West Fargo. Tracy, good evening to you as well. Thank you so very, very much for watching. Roxy says, hi, Hutch. Are we going to get ice first? We will have some light snow continuing to dash across North Dakota in the next 36 hours and parts of Lakes country as well. We do, and I am hearing reports that there's some ice setting up in the Roseau County area, and that's good. If you get snow on top of that, that can make for some yucky ice, right? So, and I'm not a aficionado of ice fishing. I'll tell you that. You just have to be careful. But our temperatures are going to be prolonged cold on Hutch's weather. So let's go take a look at that 7-day planner once again. We'll get you back to that and shut this down for the evening. I'll have your update first thing in the morning. But again, snowfall potential Tuesday night late out west, and it moves our way Wednesday morning. That is your timeline. That's what you need to know. Here is a look at your forecast for the morning on your Tuesday. 5 will be warm if we got 5. We may be closer to 0 here as I'm seeing temperatures fall like a 2-ton heavy thing. Really, really fastly. As we see teens off to the east, temperatures below 0. Minot, the air base, all the way up to Bowbells, Botno, Crosby. Stills and Nash will be warmer, but Crosby's going to be cold as we take a look at your Tuesday morning planner. That's it. Increasing clouds and a chance of snow developing out west late Tuesday in the dinner hour up in the oil patch. Otherwise, northwest winds 6 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures will be lucky to kiss that 20-degree mark tomorrow. Bemidji 20, 23 up in International Falls, 22 in War Road, and Hallock, how about 17? Well, and the planning forecast looks like this. Woohoo! Well, I don't want to plan for that. Oh, where'd it go? I lost my forecast. Apparently, it's going to be dry, and there could be some giraffes involved. Let's look at the forecast here. Here we go. A lot to talk about. Your average temperature. We are days away here from seeing the average temperature of freezing, which means, on average, we're freezing or below as we go through the rest of our months in the winter season. That's a good ice sign. But not only that, look at Hutch's digits here. The real transition comes on Thanksgiving Day for us. So we got light snow late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning here that will accumulate, particularly in our western counties. I'll keep you posted. 23 degrees as we warm up just ahead of that little weather wiggle wobbling its way through. Then on your Thanksgiving Day, look at temperatures will be warmest in the morning. You wake up at midnight, it might even still be 20 degrees out here, but they will fall down to those mid-teens most of your Thursday afternoon as you're kicking back to have seconds and thirds and watch some football or whatever you want to do with your family as we all give thanks for all of the wonderful things that we have. Temperatures will continue falling. 1 below 0. That's going to make Black Friday mighty blue. It's Black and Blue Friday with an Arctic cold blast of air. It's beginning and it continues. Look at this. We'll see temperatures single digits above and below 0. We're going to have some teens below in a few spots out there. And when it gets this cold, we're going to get ice crystals. It's just going to happen. And we got the first shot on hutchesweather.com photo upload session tonight of seeing, yep, you got it. That's called a sun pillar. And those ice crystals that are in the air cause the light setting behind the horizon there to just shoot up like a beam. Oh, that's what's going on. Melissa Smith, the talented Melissa Smith, capturing this beauty near White Earth, Minnesota. Thanks for your uploads. Thanks for your feedback on everything that you've given to me. I have so much to give thankful for to each and every one of you for being a part of Hutch's Weather, the interactivity, Pat saying hi from the Battle Lake area. You know, my grandparents had a cabin on Battle Lake. I love that place. Thank you very much for the updates. Karen, thank you very much. Rod, thank you. Giraffes would be good. Yep. I think that's my Windows background, so that somehow got on there for today. But here it is, this beautiful cold weather. When you start seeing these sun pillars, you know that we have solid ice crystals and it's cold up above the ground. That means it's cold, folks, and it's going to stay that way. So a lot to give thanks for here as I celebrate a full year of doing Hutch's Weather, and I could not have done it without you or my fine sponsors, so please keep them in mind. And I will take one more minute of your time to go back to hutchesweather.com here and show you that on hutchesweather.com, it is a great place for you to check out some more of my sponsors. My top line sponsors here include my friends at Evco Petroleum Products. They are based right here in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, and they serve a 200-mile area with all of the petroleum and product needs you need for your operation. So it's wintertime and you're getting set up to make sure you have everything on hand. They deliver, folks. Their service is top-notch. Click on this link. You'll get the link right here to the site, and they will get you taken care of. Chris at Evco, and the whole gang out there helping to keep you ready for all that Mother Nature has in store for your equipment. You can make sure it's up to speed. So thanks again for keeping my sponsors in mind when you have needs. State Farm Insurance and my friend David Eggers here in Moorhead. They can get you set up. Call him if you have a young driver like myself. He'll get you a very competitive quote. And that personal service is something that you just can't find everywhere. So thanks so much. Have a wonderful night. Stay warm. I got to go make sure I got a log on the fire. Did I got a log on the fire, Pedro? Yep, he wants one. He does not want to go back outside. For now, meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Enjoy the rest of the football game or whatever it is you're doing for your wonderful Monday night. And we'll talk again very, very soon. Thank you so very, very much.